Welcome to Storytime. Roxas has finally woken up only to find that everyone at Castle Oblivion has allegedly been destroyed. Roxas is gutted that his friend Axel might be gone and goes to the tower alone for a few days just hoping he'll show up. Eventually he does actually find Axel in Twilight Town. Axel's trying to sort out his feelings about what happened before he goes back. Axel's confused because he feels like he's feeling things, which shouldn't be happening if they don't have hearts. But really, this is proof that he and Roxas are regrowing them. When he goes back, Sykes gets mad with Axel for not reporting in, and Axel's feeling some genuine guilt about taking out his comrades, and this just drives their friendship further and further apart. Unfortunately, Xion hasn't been heard of for several days, so Axel and Roxas go to find her. Turns out that she was hunting a Heartless, but when Roxas woke up, she couldn't use the Keyblade anymore. For the next few missions, Xion teams up with Roxas, and they kill double the Heartless so no one will know that Xion can't use the Keyblade anymore. In Agrabah, Roxas meets the genie, and learns about friendship for the first time, recognizing it as the feeling he has for Xion and Axel. They also come up against Pete, who's trying to build an army of Heartless for Maleficent, who he sort of doesn't know has been destroyed. Or has she? Roxas and Xion have collected enough hearts for Kingdom Hearts to begin forming in the sky of the world that never was. It takes the shape of a giant heart, and though it's going to take a long time to complete, they're definitely on their way.
Hearts full of rage, hate, sadness, and bliss. Shining down upon us is the crystallization of all hearts. Kingdom Hearts. There, in the sky, hangs the promise of a new world.
Roxas and Xion go to the Beast's castle, and after seeing the way he interacts with his servants, Roxas questions being in the organization for the first time. He's always taken it for granted that he had to do whatever Xemnas and Sykes say, but now he's wondering about what he's actually fighting for and why getting their hearts back matters at all. As Roxas and Xion spend time together, Xion draws more and more power from him, eventually creating her own copy of his Keyblade. Sykes starts asking Axel about Xion since they're friends, and Axel really dislikes it. He wants Axel to go back to Castle Oblivion to look for the Chamber of Waking so that they can figure out what Xemnas is up to.
Xemnas has an agenda that he hasn't told to anybody, and we are bound to find some clues in the Chamber of Waking. And once we obtain those clues, we'll have the upper hand for our own objectives.
Both of them are starting to heavily distrust each other, and their friendship is in a pretty bad state. Riku is separated from Miki again. Realizing that he's losing against the darkness, he dons a blindfold to help keep his senses tied down. You may be wondering how he can still see, and that's a great question, but there is no real answer. Unless looking really cool counts as an answer, which for me it kinda does. The organization has figured out that someone is moving around in their same kind of coat, so they start looking for him. Diz has moved himself and Naminé to Twilight Town, so Naminé can continue repairing Sora's memories. Though Diz is consumed with revenge, he still realizes that he's made a lot of mistakes, so he implants his research data into the heart in Sora. Xion is beginning to feel less and less like a real person, even for a nobody. When she's assigned to find Riku, Riku defeats her, and he's shocked to see that she looks like Kairi. He tells her that her Keyblade is fake and to get out of the organization, and this only feeds into Xion's feelings. After another encounter with the Beast, Roxas wonders why he doesn't have anything that's important to him. Axel says to focus on the present instead of focusing on the past all the time. Xion begins to avoid Roxas and Axel because she feels like she's different for them, and Axel starts to feel like they're getting a little more human than he expected. Xion loses the fight against a Heartless and goes into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, Roxas starts to have memories of Sora, like chasing the White Rabbit in Wonderland and meeting Tinkerbell in Neverland. Xion finally wakes up, and she's absorbing Sora's memories of Kairi while he sleeps. This is keeping him from getting those memories back, but it's also overwhelming Xion and making her weak. Sykes and Axel have another argument, and Sykes accuses him of having changed after what happened in Castle Oblivion. He sees that Roxas and Xion and Axel have all become best friends and feels like he's been abandoned, while Axel feels like Sykes is losing sight of the kind of person he used to be.
You have changed. What happened at Castle Oblivion? Does the past mean nothing to you?
Naminé realizes that someone is siphoning off Sora's memories. If it continues, Sora won't ever get those memories back, and Xion will lose her sense of self, though of course Diz doesn't care about that part because he doesn't think nobodies are real to begin with. Xion sneaks into the organization's computers to find info on how she was created. She goes missing and Sykes wants to track her down, but Xemnas just wants to let things run their course. She goes to Castle Oblivion where she finds Axel. He tries to get her to stop looking into the past, but she refuses and finds out that she's a replica. Distraught, she runs away from the organization. Riku is told that Xion is the one preventing Sora from waking, and that Roxas and Xion have to be destroyed for Sora to recover fully.
Sora's nobody, and the one that's absorbing his memory. None of us imagined that they would fight so hard to become their own people. Unfortunately, The only real solution is for them both to go away.
He finds Xion, but he takes pity on her and tells her about Sora and how he can't recover. He's hoping that she'll recombine with Sora and give his memories back, but she wants to stay as herself. Axel and Roxas are sent to look for Xion, and they go to Castle Oblivion because Riku has supposedly been sighted there. Roxas collapses because he's gotten too close to Sora though. Axel takes them to Twilight Town where they see that Riku and Xion are together. Xion and Axel fight, which horrifies Roxas, but Axel wins and they bring her back. Sykes tells Axel that he won't be able to keep both Xion and Roxas safe, and that he needs to refocus on their true objectives.
Things are finally right again. Of course we're better off this way. Xemnas is exasperated from all the fixing we've had to do. We have to set things right. There's simply too much on the line, Lee.
Roxas is worried about Xion, but weirdly Xemnas is the one to assure her that she's a valued member of the organization and that she's going to be okay. He tells Roxas that Sora is the connection between them, though Roxas doesn't know what that means. In truth, Xemnas has realized that Xion is trapping Sora's memories and keeping him from waking. Xemnas sees how strong Xion is getting and decides to make her even stronger, sacrificing Roxas. He has Sykes set up machines in various worlds, absorbing more of Sora's memories to make Xion more powerful. This gets tired of waiting for everything to work out and tells Riku he has to go end it. Xion, Axel, and Xigbar go on a mission together. Xigbar and Xion get in a fight and she abandons them.
Why is it that you always have to glare at me like that?
Shut up!
Huh?
Asking Axel to take care of Roxas. Xemnas tells everyone the truth about Xion, and tells Axel he either has to get her back or destroy her for good. Roxas is furious at Axel for hiding Xion's origin, and tired of working for the organization which he no longer trusts. He tries to find out who Sora is from Axel, but Axel won't tell him because he doesn't think it's going to help. Finally, Roxas is tired of being lied to and decides to leave the organization. Sykes tries to stop him, but Roxas defeats him.
Your mind's made up?
Why did the Keyblade choose me? I have to know.
You can't turn on the organization! You get on their bad side and they'll destroy you!
No one would miss me.
That's not true! I would.
Xion finds Naminé, who tells her that she can return her memories to Sora, but she'll cease existing herself. Axel finds her and once again brings her back, not wanting her to be destroyed. Xemnas pushes Xion's power to the limit and tells her to attack Roxas. Feeling that she has no other choice at this point, Xion obliges, though secretly she hopes that Roxas will defeat her. She finds Roxas and the two of them fight, the machines that have been placed to steal Sora's memories taking them through several worlds and giving Xion more and more powerful forms. Roxas finally wins and the memories that make up Xion start fading. Roxas and everyone else begin to forget Xion herself, and she tells him that she's going back to Sora. She asks him to stop Xemnas' plan and free the hearts that they've been collecting.
Goodbye, Roxas. See you again. I'm glad I got to meet you. Oh, and of course, Axel too. You are both my best friends. Never forget. That's the truth.
No! Xion! Who else will I have ice cream with? Xion.
Though he's rapidly forgetting her, the pain and rage of losing Xion allows Roxas to access not only Sora's Keyblade but Ventus's too, so now he can dual wield. He goes to the world that never was to go after Xemnas, but Riku finds him first. The part of Xion that's still inside Roxas asks Riku to defeat Roxas because he's not ready to take on Xemnas yet. Riku insists that Roxas can't beat the organization and has to return to Sora. They battle and Riku starts losing, so he takes off his blindfold and lets out his darkness. His body changes to Ansem and he uses his power to knock out Roxas and bring him back to Diz. Until he feels like he can really conquer the darkness, he decides to start calling himself Ansem because he doesn't think he's worthy of the name Riku. So now Diz needs to keep Roxas safe while they restore Sora's memories. He creates a data version of Twilight Town and puts Roxas inside it. While there, Roxas believes he's just a normal kid on his last week of summer vacation. In this data world, he's friends with Hainer, Pence, and Olette, who he met in the real world. The four of them are enjoying their vacation, but lower level nobodies invaded the datascape trying to find Roxas, though he manages to defeat them with the Keyblade. Defying Diz, Naminé goes into the datascape too, trying to tell Roxas who he is, though Riku insists it's not going to help. Diz is angry that they're considering Roxas' feelings at all and endangering their work. Dusks invade again, this time led by Axel. He fights Roxas and tries to get him back. He's really sad that Roxas doesn't remember him at all. Diz intervenes and stops him. Back on the Destiny Islands, Kairi and Selphie talk. Kairi doesn't remember who Sora was anymore, only that there was a boy who was really important to her. As it turns out, Roxas meeting Naminé again let the connection between him and Kairi grow stronger. Kairi writes a letter in a bottle and puts it into the ocean, promising to find whoever it is that she's forgetting.
What's that? A letter. I wrote it yesterday, to the boy I can't remember. I said that no matter where he is, I'll find him. One day. And when I stopped writing, I remembered we made a promise. Something important. This letter is where it starts, I know it.
Axel is commanded to destroy Roxas, and Riku is commanded to destroy Naminé. Axel invades the data Twilight Town again, and Diz tells Roxas to go to the mansion. While there, Naminé tries to comfort Roxas, but Diz interrupts. Naminé promises Roxas that they'll meet again.
Roxas! We will meet again. And then we can talk about everything. I may not know it's you, and you may not know it's me. But we will meet again. Someday soon. I promise!
Roxas finds Sora, and though he still wants to be his own person, he finally recombines with him.
Looks like my summer vacation is over.
Sora, Donald, and Goofy finally wake up. Dusks attack them and Mickey steps in, telling them to get to the train. The real Hainer, Pence, and Olette sees Sora off, feeling a connection to him. The part of Roxas inside Sora is sad to see them go, even if he was only friends with the data versions of them. Riku finds Naminé and Axel but lets them go. Sora gets on the King's train and it takes them to the mysterious tower. They find Pete, who's still looking for more Heartless, and inform him that they were the ones who defeated Maleficent.
Oh, what are you laughing at? Why, Maleficent's power is so great that...
She's toast.
Huh?
Sorry, but Maleficent can't help you now.
What do you mean? You! So you're the ones that did it!
Well, we might have had something to do with it.
Heading into the tower, it's time for Sora to meet the end Cid.